Okay, morning guys, welcome to the Friday session for the Guildford City Fitness live stream. Make sure your warm-up area is clear, follow my own advice. You'll need a drink as well, and we're going to start the front crawl warm-up with 2 minutes of normal skipping. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Just comment for what's later here.
So we've got Noah on the first comment, then Charlie, Millie, Tilly, Elizabeth, Cam, Matty, Alex, Yaya, Ollie, Morgan, Paige.
I did plan on counting as I went through, but I completely forgot. Well, it sounds like a lot of you, so well done. Thanks for being here.
Lee's here.
10 seconds, one Lee.
Julian.
And relax. How you doing, Julian?
Tegan, Drew,
2,
Pearl.
1, go. Really looking forward to seeing how this Don't Rush challenge turns out, guys. Hopefully loads of you put in for it.
Ruben.
Mr. Alexander. I'm going to travel to save the carpet some more. I don't think I've mentioned this before, to make sure when you're bouncing your knees don't cave in, so you don't want to be doing that. Chances are you're probably doing it and you're running as well. It's not the greatest way to stay in good condition for it. And relax. So then you're moving on to bend the iron cross, and then Spider-Man lunge and rotate. So on your back, both feet on the floor. 3 each side, and start with your feet close. The shoulders on the ground the whole time. And then get a bit further away each time. Unless you feel that you've got some specific tightness, you can just stick with the same position. Feels pretty much okay for me. That's why I'm doing all 3. Just to be sure. Okay, Spider-Man lunge and rotate. So, 1 foot. So same leg, the same arm, left foot forward, left foot forward, left hand, left foot. Jeez. And then rotate. Switch over. Back knee can go on the ground because you're focusing on a hip stretch and thoracic rotation. So make sure your back stays pretty straight as well. Okay, then leg swings and scat press. Side to side on the same leg. Second leg. Try and hold your consistency, so if you're swinging with your foot flat on the ground, try and keep it that way. If you always go up on T-tip toes, do the same thing each time. Scat press. Hands through the floor, spine as high as you can. And lock your elbows straight. And try to squeeze your chest muscles and everything on the front of you as hard as you can, so you can stretch everything on the back. And then we'll finish off with some vertical jumps. So it's just as high as you can on each one.
Chris Finch says hello.
How you doing, Chris? Right, part one, lots of kit today. So you start with wall walks, get a chair for your hamstring raises, and inverted row you'll need a table, no you don't. Single arm row, so you're going to need a bag, and then dips you'll need a table. To have it kind of nearby but not in the way. Put this here as well. And wall walks, change it up with you.
Light on, please. A little bit better.
Cool. So I'll start with wall walks. In 3, 2, 1, go. So do it for reps up and down. Just don't rush them, or you can just build in some wall holds. So in general, I think I prefer holds to start. And then round so you've warmed up a little bit, you can build into doing walks. So make sure you're pushing evenly through your feet and through your arms. After a while it gets pretty easy just to focus on hands, you get a lot of work done around your shoulders, but you want to be even. So your body's just one piece. Relax. Into hamstring raise. Half the round on each leg. 2, 1, go. So start with a more challenging position, because you're going to be doing less reps. There's a chance to develop strength at different muscle lengths. Just remember, the longer you go, the more you've got to concentrate on your hip. Switch over. If that means doing a few seconds of holding at the top, it will help you in the rest of the rounds. 10 seconds left. Stop. Single arm row. 3, 2, 1, go.
Sam C has signed on.
Afternoon, Sam. I'm going to stop doing that, it's so bad. Just try not to reach too far forward. And switch sides. So you don't want the bag to rest on the ground. Turn your hands if you can, so if you start with your knuckles pointing forward, twist them to the side at the top. Last 5 seconds. Okay, and relax. Finish off the round with dips. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Try to keep the same tempo down as you do up.
Sorry. Herb Benderton said afternoon as well.
You right, Ben? I just assumed the handstand walked his way downstairs. It took him longer. To get as much depth as you can. Back feels a bit weird today. So, last few seconds. And relax. So I think you all know by now, I just say it in case new people are watching. Adjust your position based on how you feel, what your shoulders are up to, pick your depth based on that. Just do some holds, so go as low as you can whilst feeling comfortable. Back into wall walks. In 3, 2, 1, go. definitely helps if you rest the back of your foot, so just point your toes onto the wall, way less support. And relax. 10 seconds to turn it into hamstring raise. 3, 2, 1, go. So if you've got any lower back pain or pain in general, go up on 2 legs and then try and go down on 1 if that's still not too much. Just stay on 2. Just go as slow as you can, keep all the work in your hips. And switch sides. So if one side was bothering you too much, go up on 2. Try and go down on 1 if that's too much. Just stay on 2. And stop. Single arm row. 2, 1, go. Base your lean on how long the bag is. Like, ideally you'd have this kind of weight in a shorter bag, but try and bunch it up some more. So then you're not in danger of hitting the ground every time. It's only really redundant if you have to stand like this. So a proper hinge forward, switch arms. Too far. And relax. And then dips. In 2, 1, go. So building the depth on each dip. And push your feet away if they feel comfortable. And relax. Put 20 seconds off, back into wall walks. Okay. And then round 3 in 2, 1, go. Go back to holds, try them at different angles. So if you want to start challenging the holds a bit more and you don't have the strength to keep doing repeated walks, try and go a bit further up the wall each time. Just try and create that streamlined position. So if you have your toes flat, you almost want to rest the back of your toe on the wall instead of the point. 10 seconds left. And relax. Hamstring raise. 2, 1, go. Okay, if it's half and half and you want to do more work on your hips, you can just do it as a solid hold instead of an up and down raise. Okay, and then switch sides now to other foot. Just make sure your hips stay level. Should be a straight line from your shoulder through your body to your heel. Okay, and then relax. Single arm row again. Three, 2, 1, go. So lead everything with your shoulder. If you go into a split stance, it helps you keep your lower back straight. Or at least you'll know if your lower back's rounding more than it should be. Okay, switch sides. Okay, last few seconds. And stop. And finish the round. Finish part one with dips. 2, 1, go. Just make sure you push yourself as high as you possibly can. So at the top, try and get your ears away from your shoulders. They have some pretty big benefits in terms of neck flexibility and posture. And just keep your elbows screwed behind you the whole time. Last 10 seconds. And relax. Okay, 1 minute rest. So we're finishing off with everything body weight. So you've got movement skills, stringline crunch and leg lowers, and then airplanes. So a core superset into some movement stability. People that have been doing double hamstring raises, if you need a change for the airplanes as well, start with bending your knee. So if you have to start in that position, see how that goes. If it's too much, just message. I'd probably just say we'll do some different core stuff. But 3, 2, 1, go. So streamline crunch, hands overhead. Get your stomach bunched up as small as you can. Spend as little time on the ground as possible, with your shoulders on the ground, sorry. And pull using everything below your belly button to initiate. So the stronger you get, the easier it is just to curl from the top. But if you think about it, concentrate a lot, you should be able to initiate from here. 10 seconds left. Okay, and relax. So 10 seconds off into leg lowers. Start with your feet in the air, go down to the ground, and then reverse it. 2, 1, go. So almost to the floor. Pull back up. Okay, if your back starts to arch, stop for a second. Control the tempo. It's more about being slow and controlling what your legs do than it is about throwing them off as far back as you can. 2, 1, relax. Into airplanes. So if you can't do the rotation, just try and do the single leg RDO. 2, 1, go. So move yourself up gradually. Remember, don't try and create range by slouching. Too much. Okay, halfway through, still stick on the same side. If you feel a lot of stretch at the top of your calf, behind your knee, just bend it slightly. So everything about this should try and give you a bit more hip mobility. And relax. 10 seconds off. Other leg. In 2, 1, go. So I'm backing myself not to hit the wall this time. The problem with using a mirror, so if you are trying to spot check yourself as you go through, is that it breaks your concentration, so you'll think that you can't do it. Ugh. If you are struggling, just build it up slowly. Let's go up as high as you can, pull back down, push on your hips as a constraint. So the last few seconds, 2, 1, relax. So if you're still struggling for that top end, use your other hand to literally push your hips. I just find that it gives you a bit more guidance, so you can concentrate on articulating movement at the right joints. But back to the start, streamline crunch, in 2, 1, go. You want to do at least the 2 or 3 second hold at the top position. And make sure you've got your biceps touching your ears. So genuinely streamlining with your arms. And make sure that your fingertips stay behind your nose. So as well, don't come up, swing them in front of you. Okay, last couple of seconds. And relax. Into leg lowers. 2, 1, go. If these leg lowers are causing you any lower back irritation or hamstring pain, just go for flutter kicks instead. That we've done them this week. But if getting up here is causing you trouble in that section, that's not worth making it worse. You can do the same amount of core work. Just make sure that when you start that raise part, your lower back doesn't arch. So if you're at the floor, it's a really small change, but if your lower back arches and then your foot comes up, you need to slow down the movement. It's much better to do it slow with less range and know where it starts. Relax. So, first leg for airplanes. 2, 1, go. Is that about chairs in the way? I gotta follow my own advice. So you can put a foam roller or a stack of books in front of you for a bit of an external focus. So that's probably going to be too long. But if you've got something to aim for and touch, you'll know that you've reached forward far enough. So if I do this with the slouch, I'll be pressing down on the bag, relax. And then other side, in 3, 2, 1, go. So this would replace a mirror. So if you've been using a mirror or someone's feedback, you'll know whether you've made it because your arm isn't going to change length. And just the sensation of having something to keep a hold of is going to allow you just to concentrate on what's happening at your hip. Okay, last 10 seconds. So if you start to struggle, just slow it down. Control what range you've got. And relax. Okay, one more 20-second rest. Back into streamline crunch. In 3, 2, 1, go. So lose the streamline if you have to, if it means you can concentrate more on pulling with the lower abs. I mean, that's a again disclaimer for less experienced people watching. And for me, I know everyone in MPS and NACE can nail these pretty well, consistently. Just want to try and keep it that way. You want to advance it by concentrating on where the effort starts. Relax. So, flutter kick. In 3, 2, 1, go. That was a test. I meant like lower. And start to build the movement speed. So I'm basically narrating what's happening to me. So if I don't think about it, the first thing that happens when I pull them up is I'll start to arch my lower back to get momentum. If I force it flat, it feels like I'm stretching my lower back. So that's fine, I'll just restrict the range, bend my knees a little bit, and build it up over time. Last few seconds. And relax. Air place to finish off. I'll cover, if you've got some restrictions like that in your lower back, I'll cover what to do. 2, 1, go. So if you've got the hip bit right, start trying to include the upper body so you end up completely on your side. So that might mean you've got to bend your knee a little bit for some extra stability. So you're always training off movement for stability. And relax. So last part, 3, 2, 1, go. See how it's on this side. So I think the bag actually got in the way. And relax. So having the bag in the way might actually get in the way of you executing the skill. Play around with it. I'm not sure why. That would normally work for me. I need lots of training wheels. Not quite as oh my gosh, as athletic as some of you. But you know, hopefully you're making as much progress as I am with that. Cool down time. So this should be a pretty good reflection of where your body's at physically. So that session's a little bit less intense than some of the other ones by design, because you've got your biggest run of the week. Let me re-roll this there, stretch.
You've rolled.
Do we? Oh, stretching time. Okay, grab your cushions. Now remember, if you have a roller or a way to roll, they get through a tennis ball in here, but I can't find it now.
Can it roll onto the settee?
Potentially, I didn't even look. Okay, so knee on the pad, foot on the wall. So this should have a pretty big impact on your hip mobility as well, because you're targeting your rectus femoris. Just make sure whichever position you're in, The majority of that stretch comes from the middle of your quad. And then we're going to switch into lead hamstring as well. And then swap over. So now that I've leant forward, I'm not feeling that in my quad anymore. It's all front hamstring, and you're bending your knee and your hip. So you're trying to feel that stretch evenly, ideally in the middle of the muscle. And then just play around with it. So if you lean forward some more, bend your hip a little bit more, you might feel it a bit higher up. If you push yourself back and straighten that knee, you'll feel more of it behind the knee at the other end. And we're going to switch sides. So left leg on the cushion. And go. So obviously you want to try and get to a point where you're more upright and your knees closer to the door. But you should still be able to squeeze your hip if you need to. So if you lean forward a bit more, make it easier, but you can get some sort of contraction, you're going to have more control over it. Then swap. So lean forward, slide your heel forward, your right heel forward. And adjust all three. So if you've got 30 seconds, shift backwards and forwards, go in and out of both positions. Just be careful of shoving your hips too far forward, because from this position, I'm focusing on my right hamstring. If I shift forward too much, I feel it in my left hip. But the more gentle you are, the more options you're going to have, because you'll be able to hit both ends equally. Stop. So then hip stretch. We'll go iron cross, because I still want to get questions about. So single leg, one leg straight, one leg over the top, and guide it with your left hand. If you don't feel anything, it could be that you need to foam roll, or if you've changed your knee position to try and get more of your weight across your body, making sure your shoulders stay flat on the floor. If you pull your knee higher up, you still don't feel anything, it might be that you're extra tight. So try sitting on a massage ball, sit on the foam roller, swap sides. Depends how close to your knee. So if you don't feel anything but your knee's quite high up, it needs more work. If your knee's down on the floor, you're just lucky and extra mobile. So hopefully you can see straight away my left side's more mobile than my right, where it feels it. Yeah, so my knee gets nowhere near as close to the ground as my left. Stop. So these are the sorts of things, like for those of you that drive, if you start hearing weird noises and you just turn the radio up and ignore them, these sorts of little bits in the stretching, that's what's going to lead you to potential issues when you run. If you're doing lots of training and little bits and pieces, I don't like to talk about asymmetry, but if one side's tighter than the other, it could be that you're loading yourself because of the way that you run. So just pay attention and try and do what you have to keep yourself feeling balanced. And the lat stretch. And I don't deal in absolutes with things like that. There could be other reasons why that might be the case, but it's just about knowing how to figure out what the right answer might be, by excluding things that it's not. So second lat, lead with your elbow, make sure your hands are reaching towards your feet, The feet are going away from the muscle you want to stretch. Okay, and then chest. Finish off. So control breathing, sink down, start adjusting. Try and turn your sternum away from your elbow. Sink your body weight behind and below your elbow. And then swap sides. And if you still want some more help, just message me later on. Today's challenge is focused around mobility. Anyway, then relax. So, yeah, challenge wise, 30 minutes aimed at mobility. So even that could mean doing some yoga or Pilates. There's some really cool videos, like British Swimming put some great bits and pieces. Swimming, going to put some really cool videos and suggestions on their YouTube channel. Like I personally, like I know the limits of my remit, so I'll talk about how to create movement, how to change muscles through different stretching and the utilization of different tools. But I'm not a yoga instructor, and I'm not a Pilates instructor, so it's better to leave that advice to people that have done it properly and understand the principles a bit more, because otherwise you're just going to look at a movement and try and replicate it, but you might not be doing it quite the right way. So go on Swim England's YouTube channel if you want to have a look at bits and pieces around that, because at the very least you'll be able to use that application in the same way. Have a good weekend, because we're done. I'll see you Monday. Make sure you let us know how you get on with today's running session and tomorrow's gym. Performance Squad, have fun at the quiz tonight. And then everyone else, thank you very much for watching. And Guildford want to wish you a really great day. See you later.